2023 has arrived, everyone. Yes, we made it through 2022. 2022 did have some good games, but if everyone plays their cards correctly, 2023 will be even better. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Very interesting title. And if you've seen the trailer, it looks even more miserable than the first game. Not miserable in terms of quality, I mean like in terms of story, but anyway. You've got creepy reverse music in the background of the trailer, you've got Ganon's inability to die, and this game got delayed. But in all seriousness, this game being delayed is actually a pretty good sign. Recently Nintendo's been under fire for games such as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and even the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC for not putting their heart and soul into their products. So the fact that Nintendo is taking Tears of the Kingdom, delaying it for another year to make sure that everything is sharpened and good to go, that's a very good sign. And based off of what we've seen so far, this game looks just as cool as Breath of the Wild. Everyone absolutely loved Breath of the Wild as well, so there's obviously a lot of pressure on this game to be just as good. As we all remember, Breath of the Wild introduced the Sheikah Slate, which I thought was a very cool addition to Zelda, so I'll be very interested to see what else they could potentially introduce in Tears of the Kingdom to enhance the gameplay. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Pikmin 4. I honestly had to do some research on this franchise because nothing about it made sense at first glance. It's still weird and still doesn't really make sense, but it's interesting. These people really like visiting Earth. Like, they've literally gone back and forth between their planet and Earth so many times. Obviously that's a good thing because we're now getting a fourth entry in this series. One pattern that I've noticed in this series is that they seem to introduce new Pikmin in each entry, so I would be very surprised if we don't see any new variants of Pikmin. Now, what would this supposed variant or variants do? I don't know. However, I do think it's pretty inevitable that we will get more of these guys. Of course, we don't know too much about Pikmin 4. It was only teased and we haven't had any gameplay for it, and we don't have a lot of information about it. However, one thing that crossed my mind and would be super interesting is if the artists from Splatoon are involved in this. Both Splatoon and Pikmin are notorious for having super weird enemies and bosses. So imagine if you combine both minds together and you would potentially have the weirdest Pikmin game ever. If the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe music crew composed a lot of the music for ARMS, then I don't see why this couldn't happen. I think that would be pretty cool. Street Fighter 6. This looks incredibly interesting. When this game first got revealed, I was not expecting this amount of graffiti and colour in the gameplay. This is definitely looking to be one of the most unique Street Fighter games ever. The fact that we're able to customize our own character, and the fact that Street Fighter is now becoming an open world, open hub online game now? Like, what? How does that even happen? It literally went from a competitive arcade title to now a massive online game with a big online community. It's such a drastic shift from what it used to be, but I really do like it and it keeps the series fresh. The new character designs, especially for the older characters, are very interesting. I like that they gave Ryu a beard. Yes, I do say Ryu and not Ryu because I think Ryu sounds better. And of course we've got a brand new feature being the drive meter. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. I just feel like it's a little bit complicated at the minute, but maybe once I get my hands on this game, actually give it a go, I might actually like it and appreciate it a little bit more. From one Capcom game to another, we've got Pragmata, I think that's how you say it. I don't know anything about this game. I don't think anyone knows anything about this game. However, this looks incredibly interesting. It looks super futuristic and it seems like it's set in a post-apocalyptic world, and yet in the trailer there's still bad things happening. You got this astronaut guy with some fancy tech that we get to play around with during gameplay, I'm assuming. You got this mysterious little girl that accompanies him on his adventure, which again, we don't know why that's the case. I think this hologram cat looking thing looks pretty cool, and although there wasn't a lot revealed about this game, that's potentially the thing that's going to arouse interest, because there were a lot of interesting elements to this reveal trailer that now has me interested. I I want to know the story, I want to know why X, Y, and Z happens, and I want to know what this game is. And the last game I want to talk about is Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry, this is possibly my most anticipated game this year. This game has so much potential. The standalone Spider-Man game and the standalone Miles Morales game were very well received. So the fact that they're both in the same game as Spider-Man, the potential is so real. We may or may not be able to switch between the two, maybe even pick who we want to play as, or if we're really reaching, this could potentially be a 2-player game, you know, a little throwback to Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Okay, that is a massive reach. However, if that were to happen, I think I would be raving and jumping up and down. Venom is in this game as well, which is one of my favourite Spider-Man characters, and obviously that leads to the potential of the black suit Spider-Man. Yeah. Let me not get into it. I'm a massive Spider-Man nerd, but in short, I'm very excited for Spider-Man 2, and I just can't wait.